What is up, world? What is up, world? What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All podcast and Mod's Unbiased Opinion. Hey, man, look, I'm here. We're going to talk about some stuff. I think some stuff that really need to be talked about, some stuff that we need to kind of, you know, go there. And then I got questions. I have a whole bunch of questions in my mind. Being around a lot of Steeler fans have made me very partial and have a love in my heart for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pittsburgh Steelers community. But man, we got a banger to talk about today, a banger, and we're gonna get into it, man. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. And also, man, if you're not a member, make sure that you just hit the membership lines. Come on. Make sure that you hit the membership lines and become a member with us. Definitely super chats are up and available. I have a special guest with me today, Afton. You know what? I was really missing you, and it did my heart good to see you in the comments a couple of days ago. I was really missing you. Good to see you. What's up, Steel Dog? Man, what's good? And Steeler Lee, my player, my partner, the big homie, the one and only. What's up? Hey, man, like I said, we got a banger today. We have a banger, and I have a special guest. With me, and we're going to talk about it, man. We're definitely going to talk about it. But before we get into it, let's definitely get into this, and we'll be right back after this.
Yeah. Look, my opinion is my opinion. And my advice, you should listen. Talking love, no competition. Unbiased, forgot to mention. This is the show. Yeah, this is the show. This is the show.
You're gonna learn today.
And look, man, the graphic says it all. The time, the Pittsburgh Steelers picked in 2000 the draft. You picked Plaxico Burress in the first round, 8th pick of the first round. 2006, it picked 25. Actually moved back into the first round to pick Santonio Holmes. It's been 20 years since that's happened. That the real question is it time? And my guest to help me talk about it, Tate. What's up, man? Say what's up to Tate, man. Y'all, it's Tate in the building. And gonna help me make some sense of this, man. Tate, how you be, brother?
What's good, Mod? I'm good, man. You gonna stop fooling these people out here talking about you got a special guest. I ain't special, I ain't guest. It's just your day to have a house. That's all. But shout out to everybody.
That makes you my special guest. You know what I'm saying? There he is. So, man, look, let me tell you. Is it time, bro? Like, let's talk about it, bro. Is it time? Mean Green was popping, man. Is it time for the Steelers in the draft? It's been 20 years, bro. Is it time for the Steelers to take a wide receiver one in the first round, bro?
Have you not been listening to me for the past 2 months on everything we talk about, going back and forth with Big G, who got Vega love? You know what I mean? And I love Vega too as a prospect. But when we talk about the Steelers need, they need a left guard. They do, right? Yeah, and Vega is probably the best guard. But the need for wide receiver is clearly there. We talk about we haven't drafted the first round wide receiver since Santonio Holmes. And that was in 2006, like you said. That'll be 20 years this draft. We've had good receivers. Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin and that crew at that time was going through getting a lot of hitting on a lot of different later round picks and stuff. You know what I mean? I can recall Mike Wallace and Manuel Sanders, Antonio Brown, Young Money Squad. They got Martavius Bryant was a steal for a minute. They got a good year out of Chase Claypool, 3 or 4 good years out of Juju Smith-Schuster. You know what I mean? So they've had receivers, but they haven't identified and gone to get a guy in too many years.
Yeah.
Too many years. Stop piecing this thing together. Say, oh well, we the talent just as good in the second and third round. No, it's not. That's why the second and third round guys didn't go in the first round. There's levels to this.
Yeah, we'll get to that question. Remember, I'm gonna remember this question, Mean Green. We'll talk about Vega. We'll definitely get to this question. But you said it. It's levels to this. And looking at the draft, right? I've been looking at the drafts from 2006 all the way up to 2025. What do you think the main reason has been that the Steelers haven't went wide receiver? And of course, it's been different regimes in between, because one was Cower, and I think the other one happened before the last coach that we had. Why am I drawing a blank? Tomlin. The last one happened before Tomlin, and Young Money happened in 2010 because the Wallace and Sanders were drafted in 10. Brown, I think, was drafted in 9.
Brown and Manuel Sanders drafted in the same draft.
Okay, so they were drafted in 10.
They were drafted, I believe, in 11. Could have been, I believe it's 11. Could have been 10. I think AB was a rookie in 11, though.
Yeah, because they made a run in 2010 in the playoffs. Mike Wallace 2009, Emmanuel Sanders, and Antonio Brown 2010.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So, what to you, in your opinion, what do you think it's been since 06, the reason why it haven't went wide receiver in the first round?
Well, think about it. In 06, they still had Hines Ward, Hall of Famer, right? You got a young Randall L. And the game is different now than it was 20 years ago, too. If you had 2 or 3 good receivers, you was good. You know, you wasn't running spread personnels and all kind of stuff like that. So you weren't as deficient with 2 or 3 good receivers as you are now.
Right.
I also think you got to remember. I mean, so you had Plaxico till he left and went to the Giants. You had Hines Ward the whole time, who was around with AB, who was around with Randall L. You got some good years, like you said, out of Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, so Hines Ward was a guy that groomed some of them guys, and the Steelers were hitting on late round picks, right? And if you can hit, I mean, if I go to the store and get a scratch off and I hit 2 or 3 days in a row, I'm gonna keep buying scratch offs, 1 ticket every time I go.
Every time I go, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm hitting on them. You're right.
So you know, they was hitting, and it was a thing. So over that time, they kind of devalued the position, lost the importance of it. They think we the Pittsburgh Steelers, we can go in here and we can find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Until you don't, right? Until you don't.
You know what I
mean?
Don't. And you would count on it. Like you used to use your lottery ticket example. You that's your last. You use your last 10 because you know you fit to win. It don't happen like that. So now you got $5 instead of 10. You know what I'm saying?
They expected to hit. Yeah. Hitting in the draft on late round picks became an expectation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, so I think that's part of the reason it's become devalued. And plus during all that time, you got an elite Hall of Fame quarterback in your team that whole time. And when you're a great quarterback, which is why, you know, I'm being unbiased too. No hate here. I've said it before, even though he's got better. Your boy Dak always had weapons. Ben was a force multiplier, meaning he made the talent around him better. He made 6th-round pick AB a dog like that. Not that AB didn't work and didn't deserve it. Emmanuel Sanders didn't get along with Ben, but Emmanuel Sanders was a dog. What did Mike Wallace turn into when he went to Miami? Done. The one-trick pony. Bye-bye. Yeah. AB didn't do much when he left. You know, not Mike Wallace. Emmanuel Sanders left but got to go play with Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. You know what I mean? So he still had elite quarterback play. So you can't discount what those second, 4th, 6th round receivers was doing with an elite Hall of Fame force multiplying quarterback. That matters too.
It matters a lot. It matters a lot. Afton said we had Colbert. He dropped all the balls. Khan's first few drafts were trying to fix that mess. Yeah, I got it. So
well, and I'll say that's the last 5 years. You got to give Colbert credit for everything he did. He won 2 Super Bowls. Now, if he had a 20-year career, then 15 of it was magnificent, right? But now, the last 5 years, Omar Khan left to clean up the mess.
So you got it. 2007. Listen to this. Lawrence Timmons, Lamar Woodley. Lawrence Timmons at pick 15. Lamar Woodley at pick 46. Matt Spieth at 77. Wide receiver in this draft, Dallas Baker at round 7. Okay. In 2008, Rashard Mendenhall, pick number 23. Lyman Swede in the 2nd round from Texas. And there's your wide receiver. In 2009, you had Mike Wallace. Of course, we talked about that. That was your 3rd pick, your 2nd pick in the 3rd round. And let's see, because I'm just going through wide receivers. They keep picking at the position. This is when you got Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders. You got both of them.
And Emmanuel Sanders went first in like the 3rd round. And Antonio, so even then they was cheaping out on picks.
They were cheaping. Yep.
They hit.
Yeah. And then look, here it is from 11, no wide receivers. That's when you got Cam Hayward, right? 12, you only got 1 wide receiver in the 7th round, and that was Tony Clements, right? He didn't even make team, sounds like. Then in the 6th round, in 13, you got Justin Brown, right? And you in the 1st round, you drafted Jarvis Jones at pick 17 and Le'Veon Bell at your 2nd pick. So those are good picks. Wow, I'd say Le'Veon was. And in 14, Bryant in the 4th round, right? You got Bryant in the 4th round. It's just 1 wide receiver. Every year, you're seeing the trend. It's just 1. Nobody's picking double in this position at all. Then Sammy Coates, I was a wasted pick in 2015, right? Sammy Coates was in the 3rd round from Auburn. And then DeMarcus Ayers in the 7th round in 2017, right? 1 wide receiver, again, staying with the trend.
Well, at that, all those years, AB still there though.
Yeah, but
not that you didn't need nobody, but you at least got an elite guy.
Yeah, you got 1 guy, and then in 17, where you got T.J. Watt in the 1st pick, you got Juju Smith-Schuster in the 2nd round, and there's your 1 wide receiver, and then go ahead, T.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I love when we first started this podcast, my background, I was on this wall back there. I had a poster of Juju back there. Juju was a guy for as long as he's in Pittsburgh, but Juju ate because AB was out there. Juju totally best years was his first 2 years with AB. Then what has Juju done since he left the Steelers? Got a couple Super Bowls being Patrick Mahomes' 3rd and 4th receiver. He ain't done nothing.
Not a dang thing. Not a dang thing. You got James Washington in 2018, which I thought was going to be a big thing, right? I thought it was going to be a big thing. And then in 2019,
what round was James Washington? He was 3rd, 2nd.
Second round.
Okay.
Second round. Same draft as Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, they were teammates at Oklahoma State. They thought they could bring that connection, and it didn't work. And Mason's still around. What your boy went to Dallas, got traded to Dallas. I don't know what y'all did with him, James Washington.
Yeah, we sent the packet. We packed up his stuff in a black bag and told him, go on, get up out of here, man. Alonzo Dunn, what's up, baby? Hey, Big G, he's at the grind, you know what I'm saying? He's at the grind, and this is Mod's Unbiased Opinion. We talking, man. I appreciate you for rocking with us, man. And Tate is giving me the knowledge we out here, we talking and having a really great discussion about why is it time and why we think that, you know, there was no wide receiver pick. So thank you for the $20, sir. Thank you for being a part of the discussion here in the chat with us. We appreciate you. 2019, like we said, Devin Bush was first. In the third round, because you didn't have a second round. Third round, Deontay Johnson.
Right? Yeah, we didn't have a second round because we traded up to get Devin Bush to 10. I believe Devin Bush went at 10 or 11. 10. We traded up though.
10, yes, sir.
Yeah, and then 10. We got Deontay Johnson. And that's 2000. What year was that?
2019.
I believe that draft we wanted. DK Metcalf won a few picks before that. If Deontay Johnson went like 62, 63, somewhere around there?
66.
66. And DK went like 58 or 59 before that.
Yep. And so there was no wide receiver there. But then in the second round, which is in 2020, the first pick of the for you guys, because it was the first pick of the draft, Chase Claypool. Second pick, number 49. You said
it was the first pick of the draft. It was our first pick in that draft.
First pick.
Because that's the year we traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
It didn't have a first at all. But that's the only wide receiver in that draft.
In that draft, I was, as Big G does in the show, you'll see later, banging the table. I was banging the table for Jalen Hurts back then. They took Chase Claypool at 49. Jalen Hurts went at 52.
Yeah, man.
No foresight nowhere. All Omar, well, at that time, Kevin, all they got to do is listen to me, Mod.
they got to have this.
You got to have vision.
That part.
They got to have some vision, and they not listening to you, brother.
Not listening to me, man.
I got you. So this one I found very interesting. No wide receivers, and I believe this is. On top of what my thesis and what I point out here is there's just been one wide receiver per draft, every draft, right? But in 2021, not one wide receiver. Not one. No wide receivers drafted at all.
Who was that, the Najee Harris draft?
Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth, Kendrick Green, Dan Moore, Buddy Johnson, Isaiah Loudermilk, Quincy Roche, Trey Norwood, and Presley Harvin.
Punter, right? Yeah. And I think only Freiermuth's the only one here still from that draft.
Yep. Definitely. So,
hey, that's what like Big G was saying. That's what Kevin Colbert was doing. He was smoking the draft. It was smoking the draft.
Second draft, 7 dice.
Snake eyes.
Yeah, he was trying to get him. It just wasn't working, boy. It wasn't working at all. The next draft in 2022, you got George Pickens and Calvin Austin. First time. Two wide receivers, right? Two good wide receivers but when you go years without one, we're going to get into it. We'll get into it. And then guess what happened the very next year in 2023?
We got Kenny Pickens the same year we got Kenny Pickett same year we got George Pickens, right?
Yes. In 2022.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
In 2023, the very next year, that was Omar Khan's first draft. He started building the trenches. That's when we got Broderick Jones.
It is. We got Broderick
first
Jones,
round.
Porter,
we got Peasy Jr.,
Darnell Washington, Herbert,
Wilson,
Price, and Anderson. But the big bupkis on wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
0. Right? And then 24.
Well, because they doubled they load the year before with Pickens and Austin. They're like, oh, we took 2 last year in the second and the fourth. Pickens was like pick 52. Calvin Austin was pick 125, I believe, 135, something like that.
138.
138. See? I mean, I remember this, Mox. I'm watching how many times all these years they done passed all these receivers. I know the range. And My boy, love him to death, been my boy for 40 plus years. Big G, he want to keep on passing. I'll take Zachariah Branch. I'll take Bell. No, go get you a guy, bruh.
Yeah, definitely. And then in 24, you got Roman Wilson from Michigan in the third round at pick 84. That was your only wide receiver. And then, of course.
How's that worked out? Any production at all? I think Roman Wilson got one career touchdown.
None.
And probably about 12 catches in his career.
Yeah. And guess what you took last year? How many wide receivers that were taken last year?
I don't think any. There wasn't no rookie wide receivers on the squad.
Zilch. Zero.
Hey, you did some homework, man. I can respect that. This done turned into a serious discussion. You came prepared.
Hey man, look, what I'm trying to say is that over the years since 2007, 2006 you drafted Santonio Holmes. Since 2007, it's just been one wide receiver. You can't do that. Not in even if you're going late round 6th or 7th, you got to bring it. It's just like what you said. You got to have talent in the room, baby. You know what I'm saying? And even though you got senior talent in the room, you need to bring younger talent in to learn from senior talent and to push senior talent. You need to always have it in the room. We got Ryan Flannery in, but I'm going to tell you something. I said it before. If Cornell Tate is on the board at number 12, the Cowboys will pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You need wideouts. You need them. We got Pickens, we got Lamb, we got Flournoy, but I will take in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, you got to put butts in the seats. You got to have wide receivers in the room.
That's a plug. Take. Check out Tate's Take Wednesday. I'm actually going to get into the positional value of drafting a wide receiver versus a guard. And I got charts and everything like I'm Steve Raffner for NBC Financial. I'm going to break it down and explain to y'all the value in taking a wide receiver over a guard. That's Wednesday. But because you said take Tate, I had to take, you know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not mad at you. You could have put it. You could have put up the graphic and everything. Let's grab it real fast. Because listen, it's a part of the nation. It's a part of the nation. There it is. There it is right there. Tate's Tate. His logic is undeniable.
And you'll see pictures of Santonio Holmes and David DeCastro.
Yeah.
And don't forget about Mean Green's question because I want to answer it.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to Mean Green's question right now. Tate, don't you think Vega can be the next Alan Faneca?
I think Vega can be a very good guard in the league. I believe he's the best guard in the draft. I'm not ready to give him his gold jacket yet like Big G is. Big G's already given him his gold jacket. He's giving it to him already. But the thing with Alan Faneca is Alan Faneca dropped to 25. If Vega dropped to 21, there's a discussion to be had potentially, depending on what wide receivers are on the board. If I can get Lemon, Tyson, or Cooper and Vega on the board, I need a wide receiver. I need that. I need to pick me a guy, not settle for a guy. This draft, I'd rather settle for Rutledge in the second or third than settle for a wide receiver in the second or third when I've been wide receiver deficient for 20 damn years now.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. And I mean, Vega, I will say this. Vega has the talent potential. His ceiling is that of a man with a gold jacket, right? Mm-hmm. That's his ceiling. But, if you got old Driftwood back here, man, at quarterback, you need to get him some weapons. You know what I'm saying? And Curb just said something. Curb said you have an offensive coach now that understands the importance of getting offensive weapons. He absolutely does. You want to know why he understands it? There was a year where he had no wide receivers at Dallas. Dak was just throwing to people who were just standing. And he had so many interceptions. Remember
he threw like 15.
He threw 20.
He led the league. Yeah, he led the league that year. But that's the first year y'all lost Amari Cooper, right?
Yep, first year we lost Amari, and you got to understand, you got to get weapons. You have to have weapons in the room, Daddy. It is what it is. You can't just sit around here and think you could throw the average wide receivers when the margin is getting shorter and shorter and shorter for you to throw to these guys. Because guess what? These defensive backs and defensive schemes are getting better. They're evolving. So you have to evolve with the game. And if you're not sitting down and you're not saying, okay, look, I got to get some talent in the room. I can't just get guys. You know, I can't have guys out here running and getting cardio. You know what I'm saying? Because if all you're doing is running routes, you're just getting cardio. And I don't need you out here getting cardio. I need you catching some passes. You know what I'm saying? And I need a guy who can get open and catch passes. And with Driftwood, he prefers bigger wide receivers. Well, so you got a 6'4" guy over here. You got a 6'4" guy over here. You have a 6'5" guy at tight end. Let's go get either a slot guy who can do it, or let's get another big guy who is going to be a 60-40 guy when we need, you know, that type of situation. We could throw up a 50-50 ball. What are you thinking, man? Talk to me, bro. Like, I mean, about this whole thing. You kind of laid it out now to kind of piece together the framework of why I think we should and why I think it could happen. You've already said, hey, I got it to happen. But give me some insight, bro. Give me some insight, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. Well, I've said several times the past few weeks about the personnel, the heaviest personnel Mike McCarthy likes to run in. You know what I mean? 11 personnel, 68% of the time. His last year in 2024 with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, those three receivers, he didn't have Pickens yet, but he definitely had CeeDee Lamb. He had your boy Gallup, right? And who was the third receiver?
Noah Brown.
And
then after Noah left, well, before Noah left, it was the guy over at the Dolphins. I forget his name.
Yeah. I can see
he left. Yeah,
he's kind of fast, kind of slot guy.
Yeah.
I can see his. I can't think of his name, but yeah, I know you're talking about. He wore number 1, didn't he?
Cedric Wilson.
That's who it is.
Cedric Wilson, and he left when Cedric left. Then it was Noah. Then Noah left, and then it was nobody.
But they leaving because they leaving to get paid, and you already paying CeeDee Lamb, so you got a guy, and you had enough foresight like we need another guy to trade a 3rd round pick to go get George Pickens. And you said if one of them receivers was available this year and Tate was available at 12, you take him.
You go
right?
get him.
You take him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I know you need a corner, but if Tate is there, you can't pass up that value. And that opens your whole team up because now, damn, I'm paying CD. I got to get George this 27.5 million this year. Now I got cheap, talented labor. Then when it's time to make a decision on one of these guys, I got young talent to plug in that's going to be a young veteran now, and I go get another guy. You got, it's chess, not checkers. You got to plan ahead. You just can't just grab position. I can't just get 2 tackles with two of my last 3 first-round picks, get a second-round guard on my offensive line, build that, and keep going there. You know what I mean? So that's why I say if it's Lemon, Tyson, because Tate not going to be there. Lemon, Tyson, Cooper are there at 21, and Vegas there. I still might have to give me a receiver, Ma, because just like Christine said, she said I'm okay with Rutledge in the 2nd or the 3rd. You know what I mean? That's not investing in the offensive line. You still investing. That's just not using another 1st-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely. Let me ask you this, Tate. So, scenario you played out, right? None of your guys are there. Do you trade to gain another pick so that you can get, a Bell or what's my guy from Alabama? I think a Bernard.
Bernard.
Yeah. Do you trade back to get? And I mean, Boston may be there. If Boston is there, you taking a flyer on Boston
at 21?
At 21.
No, I told you the guys. Tyson 1st, Lemon 2nd, Cooper 3rd at 21. If none of them there and Vega not there, I trade back. I can trade back to 27, 28. Then I can get either Boston or my boy Concepcion
So
and pick
you
up
don't
something
like Boston. You don't like Boston for the
at
value
21.
at 21.
Not
That's what
21.
you're saying.
No,
Okay.
no.
But
Because, I mean,
you would take him as a wide receiver, right?
I would take him as a wide receiver. I'm talking about if I fall back to 28 or something like that in there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like that. I said it in Big G. This is my Big G burner. I've said it. If Driftwood has those group of wide receivers, Boston, Pittman, DK, he throws for 45, 50 touchdowns.
Oh, that's
a
a super burner.
It's a burner. But I'm gonna tell you something.
I give him between 35 and 40 though.
Because
he scored 24 last year with one receiver in Arthur Smith offense.
Thank you. And you said what I'm saying, and that was the point I was about to get to. How many times did he get in the end zone and he couldn't finish?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got in the red zone and he couldn't finish. And you got 6'4" guys who are 60-40 guys. You throw that thing up, they coming down with it, bro. They coming down with it.
No, I agree with you. So that last game, not against Houston, the last game we lost against Cleveland, we drive all the way down the field and they lock up the red zone because your options, DK suspended. You out here with Thielen and MVS out there. Come on, man. Let me say it again. Come on, man.
Well, so a couple of comments here. Okay, Tay, if Highsmith is traded to Dallas for the 12th pick, would the Steelers take Vega to jump ahead of the Ravens? First, let me say, we won't give up 12 pick for Highsmith. We'll give up 20.
Well, it's talk out there. I'm not saying it's a thing from Dallas side. Big G sent something last night saying that same thing.
I've seen it too. But what I do know with the media, that's one of the reasons why the Raiders deal went south, because we're not trying to give up 12. We want 12 because we got our guy for 12. 20 is the one we'll let go, and we're not even tripping on. You know what I'm saying? So 20 will be that pick.
To answer that question hypothetically, whether it happened or not, if they were to trade up to 12, say they traded up to 11, it's not to go get a guard. That's why you need to check in the economics 101, general manager of a football team. You can't trade all them assets to go from 21 to 11 to trade for a guard. You cannot do it. It does not make fiscal sense in today's NFL to get one of the lowest paid positions, because now, like I said, I got stuff for you on Wednesday. But let me just say this. Average offensive line, what's the name of the tag?
What we talking about? The franchise tag?
Franchise tag, yeah. It's like 28 million, right? That's because guards and tackles and centers are all lumped together. I broke down the top 5 highest paid guards, and I got them listed and they salaries. The highest paid guard makes $20 million. $20 million. Franchise tag on a guard is like $19 million. Highest paid wide receiver makes $42.5 million.
42.
Just you know what I mean? Yep. Just happened. So the franchise tag on a wide receiver is going to be somewhere next year around 30. You know what I mean? So the value is in drafting the receiver and having financial control over that guy. The Steelers going to have a decision to make when McCormick come up. He's not a first rounder. He's a fourth rounder. But they can't pay Tanu, pay Zach Frazier. McCormick going to be out of here soon. Because you feel like I can let a guard go and get me another guy to put in there. Maybe he's not good as Vega, but it's just why I said I would take Rutledge in the second or the third and get that cheap labor. And you're going to be surprised. The Steelers going to have a competition between your boy Hoffman and Spencer Anderson. They comfortable with both of them. Not that they won't draft a guy, but they definitely not trading up to no 12 or 11 to go get Vega. That got wide receiver written all over. That means they need to go to 11 because, like Ma said, Tate dropped. They trying to get ahead of Dallas to go get Tate.
Yeah, definitely. And still Lee, he said if he got 40 touchdowns, that mean the run game is trash. No, that don't. That means that the run game has got you down there you can't move because remember the field shrinks when you get in the 20, and you got 6'4" wide receivers that you can throw the ball up to. As you know, it's a whole bunch of 5, 10, 12-yard touchdowns. And that's what happens with quarterbacks who have all those touchdowns. They're getting 5, 10, 20-yard touchdowns. It's not like they're getting these long bombs. You know what I'm saying? They're just they're unstoppable in the red zone.
And then with Aaron Rodgers and players like Warren still on the roster and Dowdell, and Warren given opportunity would do more with the opportunities Gainwell had last year because he's a more explosive player. So it's an extension of the run game. I mean, the short passing game, intermediate passing game, option routes to tight ends over the middle and stuff. It's a short, controlled passing game that's going to open things up. Don't mean the run game trash. Sometimes you got to pass to open up the run.
Yeah.
What we've been used to the past since the Killer B era is the old Woody Hayes Ohio State offense, 3 yards and a cloud of death. That's what we've been doing. Keep the ball protected, play defense, get some turnovers. Let's try and get out of here with a win. Nah, we about to shoot and hunt.
Oh my. He said they're going up to get Ty Simpson. As much as I don't want it, if the rumors are true, most of us will hate it.
I'm gonna hate
it. You're gonna absolutely hate it.
Like why? Yeah, I'm with Steeler. I don't think he's playing, or I think he heard that from somewhere. I'm only suggesting like that's a foolish move, and you don't know what Will Howard is, and the fact that next year's quarterback draft is supposed to be rich in first round talent. I don't give up assets to go get Ty Simpson. I'd rather go ahead and be diabolical and take one of them guys. Go get Drew Aller in the third round if that's what you waste a third round pick. No waste no first round pick.
Listen, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, Big G, I hear your sentiment, and I think he said what's happening, chat. I hear your sentiment, but if you made the trade, because it's not that you're making a trade to go up in the draft. That's not what's happening. Dallas would be the one instigating the trade for Highsmith. So because we're coming to you guys and asking you for some of your porridge, we got to pay the price, right? So the price would be, the 20th pick in the draft, or let's say the 12th pick. Yeah, and if you get the 12th pick in the draft and you're at a place where now I have ownership of pick 12, you're not using that for a guard. You're not using it for Ty Simpson. You're using that bad baby for a weapon.
Yeah, why would you trade up to 12 to get Ty Simpson? I think the clear worry is getting ahead of the Jets. So why not trade to 15 and use less capital? Why you want to trade all the way up to 12 to get a guy that, and we recently did a mock to 3 of it. Ty Simpson didn't even go in the first round.
Yeah. No, Tyrone said Big G Kuiper Jr. He always jumps in with this whole thing, Big G Kuiper Jr. After said, what's up, G? Listen, you don't, it's something about draft position, and we talked about that, Tay. You kind of talked about that, and you're going to talk about it some more in Tay's Take. Whether you believe it or not, draft position is really a thing. You don't draft positional value. You don't draft certain people at certain places.
Right.
You just don't, because it's not worth the draft acumen. That's the reason why we have draft points in a draft system that Jimmy Johnson set up, because it's real. It's one of those things where we've noticed over the years there are trends. Why do you think I went back to 2007 to look at the actual draft classes? Because there are trends, and you have to follow those trends, and you have to follow them not just because I want to be like everybody else. No, it's because it's proven that it works.
And
you go get a weapon at that place. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I agree. Let me add this, Mod. When you talk about the chart in draft capital, it fluctuates every year, right? I mean, pick 1 is going to be the highest pick, right? But is pick 1 the same with Fernando Mendoza being the number one pick versus when I don't know who was a great quarterback. Like, okay, so the value of Fernando Mendoza is not what it was when Caleb Williams was drafted. That whole draft, I think, 5 quarterbacks were in the top 10. So the fact that 5 top 10 quarterbacks is in there, that elevates the point system in that draft for your top 10 picks. Because if a team want to come up, oh, you want to get a quarterback. That means this pick is worth more than it is you was coming up to get a defensive back.
Facts. Absolutely. Facts. Definitely. So Kenneth Jones said they won't move up to get Simpson. They've been telling everybody they think Howard is it. What team hypes up a 6th rounder and doesn't believe in it?
A 6th rounder that hasn't played nary a snap in the NFL. The last time I saw Will Howard play, he was walking off the field getting a national championship.
Yeah, that was a moment ago. That was a moment ago. And G, I'm listening and just checking these Cowboy streets out here. Yeah, that I see it from you guys' side. Like I said, from our side, we're not letting go of pick 12. We would let go of pick 20.
Would y'all trade pick 20 for Highsmith and one of our thirds? Highsmith's still under control for 2 more years. And you guys is in all-in move status. That would be much cheaper, not the same guy, but much cheaper than the Myles Garrett trade you brought up last night.
Yeah, and let me tell you the truth. We would do it. We would do it. You get our first, you get 20, and we got a third back. Absolutely. We would. I think we would make that move. I think we would make that move for real. And now, the Cowboys. Just a brief side note. We talking about moving on Deron Bland. So there is some intricacies here. And I think, there's always smoke around the draft, right? It's always smoke. And it's that smoke is created to throw people off the trail so that people could get their pick. Because if you understand, if I lock into a guy,
pull up the take again and read that title. Yeah, I think it say don't believe the smoke.
Yep, don't believe it. Smoke screens at offensive guard catching fire at wide receiver. Yeah, so they do that all the time. They do it all the time. It's one of those things that he said, read it. The trade is actually Highsmith and switching picks in the 4th and a 27th third with switching for the 12 and 20. I understand. I get it.
Break that down. What are you talking about?
So what he's saying is that the Cowboys would have pick 20 and pick 21. And we're switching. We're just literally switching picks in the 4th. And then we're getting you guys' 2027 third, right? So we're getting a third in 2027.
So we trading spots. We're going up 8 spots, giving you Highsmith. And what's the second part?
Getting a 4th. I mean, getting a 4th this year, and then a third in 2027.
From y'all?
No, we're getting a third in 2027.
Oh, yeah, I ain't doing that. Not to go get Ty Simpson.
No, not for Ty Simpson. I don't think. But I don't think it would be a move to get Ty Simpson.
Right, honestly. Yeah, I'm with you.
That's redundant. Ty Simpson will be there at 21.
He might go to the Jets at 16, but if he don't go there, he'll be there at 21.
Yeah,
at that point, you just, like you was doing earlier, just shake him up again. Right, that's what you do.
You just out here taking risks, man. It's just that, hey, man, you don't do that. Like I don't see that making logical sense, and I really feel like it's all smoke and mirrors at this point, and they're trying to throw people off the trail. But wide receiver is what you need. Wide receiver has been a deficient area. Tate has been banging the table for at least 2 years about this whole thing. Wide receiver. We need talent at the specialty players, at the running back, at the wide receiver, slot position. You like, man, we need talent in the room. If we don't have talent in the room, we got to get talent in the room. This is your opportunity to do what? Get talent in the room. You know what I'm saying? He said, I hate it, but it's in the Steelers streets. Absolutely. Absolutely. He said in that scenario, Lemon might end up being the Steeler.
I agree with Mark wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I believe Lemon going to end up being there.
Lemon or Tyson, if they really believe in it. If his medicals check out and everything, one of them two guys, because they difference makers.
Right. He said, Maud, would that save you some money if you move back 9 spots? Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know the spots you get drafted in, you're paying the player for the spot that they got drafted.
They're slotted and allocated. Like I know, pick 21 is $3.8 million. That's what that player gonna get paid, a rookie contract.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna save a little bread. You know, if you push back, and you got to understand our needs are we need Highsmith. That's why, you know, we will go after Highsmith. And like I said, you got to pay to play. So the pick swap, I could see it all happening, right? I could see it all happening. And it wouldn't be a bad thing. That wouldn't be a bad thing for either team.
I'd rather just trade y'all Highsmith for 20 and a third. I mean, Highsmith in the third for 20. Then you can get in a situation where maybe you can get Vega and Cooper. For giving up Highsmith because you're going to pay Herbig anyway. You're going to pay Herbig.
Yeah.
And then you get up a third round pick, but you got Vega and Cooper.
Yeah. Mean Green said, Tate, the Steelers need to get a wide receiver first and then an O-line after that.
Mean Green, his logic is undeniable.
He said, I doubt we mess with the edge room at all.
If it's one room they're gonna do something, it's gonna be that one.
Yeah, because you have the acumen to be able to do something when you have all of the tangible needs. People want the guys in our edge room, so I can sell some of this stuff. And
you got TJ for 40. You got to pay Herbig, who's younger than Highsmith. Highsmith is cousin to elite. He might not be elite, but he cousin to elite. You know what I mean? Y'all just picked up Rashawn Gary. Highsmith better than him. But add him to that. Look at the numbers. I know Gary was coming out of high school going to Michigan, the best player in the country. But just look at the get off, look at the speed, look off the edge, the speed moves, the power moves. Highsmith better than Gary. You know what I mean? So I think you can get off Highsmith. Highsmith make 18 a year for the next 2 years. Reasonable, right? They're gonna give Herbig about 16. Curb off a little money. But you get a younger guy and you get him starting his contract at 16 now for probably 4 years. You know what I mean? You're looking at 4 years, $64 million for Herbig. Go ahead, get that boy 32 guaranteed.
Let me go and get to it. The tight end, the cornerback from Tennessee had just pulled the hammy. Let me tell y'all what pulled hammy. Yeah. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all about hamstring injuries. I need everybody to listen. You know what I'm saying? Hamstrings is what they call soft tissue issues. Why is that? Why am I talking about this? If you're not training properly, if you're not stretching properly, if you're not recovering properly, those things happen. You tweak a hammy, right? So I'm not concerned about a ham. Now, you can't if you have a knee issue and you're overcompensating and you pull a hammy that way, that could happen. But I'm not concerned. Like, the doctors in the NFL, like the knee doctor at the Cowboys is the best in the business. So I'm not worried about knees. We drafting these guys and we've done a full over of their whole. We know what's going on with their body. We know if they had the cold last week. You know what I mean? So when we're talking about these players having hamstrings or nagging this or nagging that, you spend $1 million when you get to the league on your body. An elite player will, right? Now, if this is a player who's not going to take care of himself, then I could see that. But Jordan Tyson has had those 2 injuries, right? But he hasn't had anything huge since it's just been soft tissue issues. And that's created by I'm working harder than I have been previously because of the simple fact that previously I was hurt, right? So once you get to the league, hydration, rest, recovery, and you're going to have like the doctors and the coaches, you're going to be all right, Tate. So I'm tired of hearing about these, well, he got a hamstring and can't work out. Okay. All right. The boy was working out, man. You're going to pull a hammy. It's going to happen.
Jordan Tyson is 21 years old right now. Jordan Tyson dislocated his knee or his MCL and ACL and all that in 2022. That'd be 4 years this football season. So he was like 17. He was a kid when that happened. He 4 years past that. That's one of the injuries. 4 years past it, right? We took Peyton Wilson. We took Darnell Washington. We took Troy Fautanu. Fautanu in the first round. The other guy's not in the first round. But then I also will say the other thing is a clavicle. It's football. Aaron Rodgers broke a clavicle before in his career. That happens playing football. So the hamstring, soft tissue injuries, they happen in sports, cross sports. So yeah, I think the injury stuff is over, not exaggerated, just over talked about, right? Over talked about.
And you guys, Sean and Mean Green, both of y'all, Big G, neither of you don't understand. If you get it, you know what I'm saying. You're running. You're using your legs. Of course, you're going to have the highest rate. The hamstring has the highest reoccurrence rate. And not everybody is really taking care of their bodies. You got Chad Ochocinco who would get out of a game and go eat McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people who don't change and change. Look at Tyler Guyton, friend of the program. Have you seen Tyler Guyton here lately? Tyler Guyton has, he first of all, he went pescatarian. He works. He started doing hot yoga, right? And he's doing rest and recovery throughout his time. And the boy looked like Tyron Smith right now, chiseled. You know what I'm saying? All that little baby fat's gone. This is what happens when you start taking care of your body, and all of these little nagging injuries that you got because you're a little bit heavier than you should be, or you're not recovering the way you need to. If you take that serious, those injuries go away. Those injuries go away. I get what you're saying.
And I don't even know it's about taking it seriously. I think it's more about having access to the people that truly know, the professional training staffs and medical staffs and stuff like that you have access to once you're in the NFL. That make a huge difference too.
Yeah, make a huge difference. So Big G, you're right. You're right. They do have the highest occurrence rate in the NFL, but at the same time, you're running. Everybody's out there running. So it ain't like they're not using their legs, man. They're using their legs. G said in many cases it's genetics, and many athletes won't take the time and effort to take care of themselves, and this is why it's the highest recurring injury. Sean, we splitting atoms here. I'm saying the same thing you are, but I'm saying if an athlete who is on top of his square and knows his stuff is gonna take care of himself, period. He's gonna go do the things that he needs to do, like I used with Guyton, doing hot yoga. You know what I'm saying? He's out here getting stretched every day, going to the facility, spending 2 hours in the facility, just recuperating and recovering.
He was doing that at Oklahoma. He's been doing that since he moved to Cowboys.
No, he just started doing that last year.
Who he play for?
The Cowboys.
What league they in?
The NFL.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. All right.
Absolutely. So it's like, when you get there, you change certain things, and who told him to do what he's doing? Y'all got it. Chin Young. You know what I'm saying? Chin Young is the one that started. If you remember, you go back to our interview, He'll tell you Chin Young is the one who started him down this road to be a pescatarian. So, I mean, when you got guys in the room who know about health and recovery, they're going to help you to be better as a player. So Jordan Tyson being a Steeler, I wouldn't worry about it because you got people over there who know what they're doing and know how to put it together. I just wouldn't worry about it. Me personally. Tate?
No, I completely agree with you. And not only that, I mean, I think he wants to be a Steeler. I think he'd have been over there for 2.5 years with Hines Ward. The kid loves the block. Well, T Higgins gets hamstring injury every year, but man, last I know, T Higgins a top 10 wide receiver, and he getting paid.
And
You know what I mean?
The last year statement is real. A lot of pros won't do it. You're so right about that because they're turning up. They're partying all the time. Steelers Almighty, what's up, baby? He said Tyson got hurt in October and isn't healthy. It's a problem.
But he played again after October, though. He played again. He tried to go out and play for his team. You know what I mean? And it don't got to be Tyson. We can talk about Lemon. We can talk about the need for receiver. I just think Tyson the best talent. He up there with Tate. I mean, if everybody healthy, he up there with Tate. He arguably the number 2 wide receiver. You know what I mean? If he had a full season playing with Sam Levitt all year, is he up there with numbers like Lemon had? Is he?
He had him. We read the numbers. We read the numbers yesterday, Tate. 71 catches, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yes, he is. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he is. It is what it is. He got it. But you're right. Like I said, G, you're right. And Big B, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Health is an issue, but bruh, let's put it like this. When you drafted the linebacker, Peyton Wilson, health was an issue. How'd that turn out?
He wasn't the first round pick. That's gonna be the first thing they say. Same thing, but we love Peyton Wilson as a talent. We love Darnell Washington, knee concerns. We drafted Troy Fautanu, who's one of the cleanest young tackles in the league as far as his technique, his hand placement, his movement, everything. Hey, you know what? Here I go again. Shake him up. Right, here I go again. And sometimes you got to take swings.
Yeah.
You can't just draft for the floor. Sometimes you got to draft for the roof.
I get it. He said Tyson is absolutely the best talent. The injuries just scare me. You limp into the league, you also limp out of it. I hear you, Big B. Now, I can't the facts are the facts, but the truth is the gray area. We still don't know how he's gonna end up and what it's gonna look like. We just have to trust that, we have the things in place to get the most out of him. It's just like when we drafted Jalen, what's Jalen's last name that came from Notre Dame? We drafted him here.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith just blew his knee out. We got the best knee doctor in the game. So we drafted him, still took him on potential.
In the second.
We could rehab him. And we did. And for a while, he was good. He hung up. Yeah,
I mean, Willis McGahee got hurt in college. You know what I mean? And George Pickens, we all know, is a first-round talent that got injured at Georgia. Steelers took him in the second, but I mean, sometimes you got to take that shot. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to shake them up. You know what I'm saying?
I said this on another podcast. I think it was a homie. I remember Pay and B Dirt laughing, but I said sometimes you got to be a swinger and not a catcher. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that, I'm not just being the catcher catching the pitches. I'm taking swing. I'm going for the homer.
Yep.
I'm going for the homer, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you have to give yourself that opportunity, and you have to think outside of the box. And like I said, if I have these pieces in place that I know that, okay, look, I have doctors, I have trainers, I have people that I know can take care of this. Now I just needed to find out what this is, right? Big B said, I'd rather take a chance on talent versus playing it safe, but it still gives me pause.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's facts.
Yeah,
That's facts.
you gonna have pause, and you gonna have, you're gonna be a little bit apprehensive. But if it hit, and you still get somebody like Rutledge in the second round, all right, we keep moving. You keep building.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just it. If you hit, you know what I'm saying? But you can't keep that you can't live like that. You can't live your life like that. You know what I'm saying? There are times when you take, it's called an educated risk, right? And it's an educated risk based upon the conditions that I've set up, right? I've set up these conditions, and I have everything. It's like I go outside. I was raised in the country, and my grandmother had a garden, and you had to till and break up the soil, and then you had to put fertilizer inside of the soil. You had to mix it up, and then you dropped in your seed. And you covered it up, right? The reason why is you prepared an environment.
How you drop seeds? You grew up on dirt roads.
I did. The road was dirt. Let me tell you something. But that garden out there, man, we made it something. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. I had to pick up rocks and take them over there, man. Put them on the fence line. It was we lived on 2 acres of land. So it was a whole bunch of things. If you seen the house, it looked like Dorothy's house from the Wizard of Oz. It was tore up. You know what I'm saying? My grandma, look, my grandmama, it was a 1-bedroom house and 9 of us lived in it. You know what I'm saying? That made miracles.
You come from humble beginnings.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. But again, the thing I'm saying to you is you prepare that place, and I know I got the stuff in place to handle this.
Hey,
right?
Can I ask you a question as we talk about Jordan Tyson?
Yeah.
You think his wide receiver coach Hines Ward got any relationships with anybody in the Steelers building that might be giving the Steelers some inside information?
Yeah, thank you, Big B. I appreciate you, brother. I think maybe.
Why you think maybe? Omar Khan was there ever since back when Hines Ward was there. You don't think they got a relationship?
No, I think they have a relationship, and I think maybe that relationship have a little tie in there. You know what I mean?
Inside information. Like, come on, Hines, you see this kid every day. What's his work ethic like? What he look like? Well, what's his mentality football wise? Tell us.
Yeah.
You don't think that's happening?
I do think it's happening. I think it's happening. I'll agree, and I'll say I think that's happening. More, I'll lean to it's happening more than it's not happening. Right. I'll say that.
Probably more so than any other team.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because you have relationships there, and anytime if anything, and Big B, all of the people who played in the pros or even played high level college football will tell you, most of the time, relationships is what drives everything. Talent is good, but relationships get you in doors that you ain't even supposed to be in. There's certain people who became pros behind relationships. So yeah, I mean, honestly.
A lot of times, about what you know is about who you know.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes down to it for me, I think I would lean to it's happening more than it is.
Last question to you, Mod. From me to you, then you can finish up. If next year Jeremiah Smith hurt his knee in the beginning of the season, had to sit out for a year, is he still a first-round pick?
He absolutely is.
Okay.
He's put enough tape on. He put enough on tape and on film to where we say, okay, we rehab this guy. We got us one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's one of them things where you play the average. Again, you play the average. After said it's like we're doing the shake weight, but nah, it's. You're playing the average.
You obviously ain't been on the street corner shooting dice.
So come on, seven. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, this is Mod's Unbiased Opinions, man. I thank you guys for being a part of the show. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. So when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications. And all of you who have not taken the opportunity to be a member of the Know It All Nation, please make sure that you do that, man. We got some great content and some great things that we're doing and just sharing with you, especially all the way up to the draft, man. And I'm excited about the draft. It is the most wonderful time of the year. And I'm telling you, I'm super excited and to know that, you know, we're going to have boots on the ground there with Big B and G going to be there, man. And then, you know, us, hey, listen, the draft show, we're in it, man. We're definitely in it. We're talking. A lot of times we call out the picks before we actually get the pick. So, you know what I mean? Because it's like we've done so many mock drafts and we've done so many, so much homework, right? We don't just get on here and talk randomly or haphazardly. We talking to you with some facts. You know what I'm saying? Tate likes to refer to himself as the know-it-all who knows it all. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this.
I don't know it all. I just know the most, more than you and Big G most times.
The boy,
but y'all got y'all avenues of expertise.
Yeah, he come prepared, man, and that's what I'm saying. We're gonna show up to the draft prepared. We're gonna be prepared and ready to talk about the draft, and I'm excited. Like I said, I just want to see where these players are gonna end up, and the systems they're gonna be a part of, because systems are everything. You know what I'm saying? Fits are everything. You just because you know somebody's 100 on their grade don't mean that I got to take them. The BPA, they may not fit on my team. Everything they do is great, but they just might not fit with my organization, or they may not even fit with my locker room. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of reasons why people get drafted. Don't get drafted.
You made me bring it up. I mean, because how you just said it. I was having a discussion with homies the other day with Pay and B Dirt, but this was with Pay because he's talking for the Ravens. He likes the Ravens to get Thiemann, safety out of Oregon if he's there. But the Ravens got Kyle Hamilton, and they just drafted the boy out of Georgia last year in the first round because you get BPA. I was like, not in a situation like that. You get BPA if it's a blue chip talent. If you sitting there, you the Ravens and Sonny Styles fall to you.
Hey,
Jeremiah Love fall to you.
Run that card up there.
Yeah. But Thiemann, a safety, you go get something that you really need. I don't care if he is the highest ranked player, that don't fit for you.
Right.
You got an all-pro safety right now, and you drafted one in the first round last year. So just because the best player on the board is another safety, I'm not taking that again.
Yeah.
I mean, the trading back or getting, I see it get BPAON, best player available of need.
Yeah.
Or trade back.
Absolutely. You don't just run out and get somebody just because he's a name. That name ain't going to help your team win. You know what I'm saying? The thing that's going to help your team win is fit. That's why when you start seeing a coach out there going and getting their guys, they understand one thing. This is the offense I run. This is the defense I run. This guy's going to fit well in these schemes, right? And if there's a guy who just doesn't fit well in the scheme, you don't bring him in. For what? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. It doesn't make any sense. And any GM that does that is going to be out the door. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's why we had to get Jerry up out there. We kicked Jerry out. We had to kick for the last couple of years. We had to kick Jerry out, man. Get up out of here, man. You don't know nothing about football, man. Get up out of here, man, for real. And Will McClay and now CP, Christian Parker, and they're doing their thug thizzle. They're getting guys in, man, and they're putting guys in position to win. And they're like, and Shotty is like, look, I need my guys. He has a running back type. He like big backs, and he cannot lie. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Julian Love is there, that's a guy we're getting. We're running the card up at 20.
And you just signed your running back, but you got to have that.
Just gotta have it. Gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? He shot. He's tight. He will fit well in the offense. You find guys who are great for your system and your locker room and everything else. But look, again, thank you guys for rocking with us, man. Thank you for Tate for coming out here, being a part of Mod's Unbiased Opinion. I think we covered why the Steelers need to have a wide receiver in this draft and definitely need to be picked. But you gonna hammer it home on Thursday. Look here, man. I want you guys to know later on this afternoon, Big G's rent, he's gonna be banging the table, man. Listen, he's talking about the movable objects, which is the fire hydrants, the D tackles. You need to get it to today at 6. You need to be there for all the yins. He has a special guest there too that's going to be on with him. And of course, like we said, Tate's take, his logic is undeniable. Smoke screens at the offensive guard, catching fire wide receiver. You know what that's going to be about. He's going in depth. He's going to hit you with a lot of knowledge. But Tate, man, talk about this, because guess what? We back.
Yeah, man. Pump Your Brakes is back. This Wednesday on the Steel Curtain Network, we going at 7 o'clock. Myself, Big G, and the Triple OG is back with us, back home on Pump Your Brakes.
But not at the Steel Curtain Network. He's going to be here at the Know It All Network.
Know It Alls, yeah. So that's how we rocking. I mean, and Shannon still be doing this stuff on the Steel Curtain Network, just like you catch me there tonight on The Hangover with Shannon and Daniel J. But yeah, man, on this particular show, our first episode back after about 5 or 6 weeks off, we're gonna talk about the cornerback market and what type of money JPJ deserves as far as the hierarchy of corners. I mean, he's not top of the market yet, but man, is he a top 6 or 7 corner? You know what I mean? In the league, I believe the highest paid is $30 million. That's your boy Stingley from Houston, and you got Surtain in there right around that same mark, and some other guys. So just where Porter Jr. fits there, Porter Jr. fits in there, and it's the family business, right? You know, they Steelers for life, man. Joey, his son, the Rooneys. I mean, they seen JPJ grow up. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take care of family. That's what family do, take care of family. But we're gonna talk about how much allowance this kid get.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. Rooney's sitting there looking like Mr. Drummond. You know what I'm saying?
He do like Mr. Drummond. Hey, so well, a lot of our viewers are in our demographics. They might know Mr. Drummond.
Mr. Drummond. And of course, right after that, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the main homies, my partners, Curb, Big G, and we got Tate Boy Fresh on Smash the Gas. Running back room expectations. Talk to me about that, G. Tate. I said G.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, with the new running back coach, Raymond Chin Young Jr., who you just was mentioning, came from the Cowboys. Obviously, is big on helping players with health and nutrition, those kind of things. Outside of being a really good running backs coach, has been with Mike McCarthy at different stops along the way. What's this running back room look like? I think it gets a little more explosive, man. And we're going to talk about that. It gets more explosive because Kenneth Gainwell was good and efficient, but he wasn't that bruiser that Dowdell going to be between the tackles, getting 4.5, 6 yards a carry between the tackles. Then you put Jalen Warren in the position that Gainwell was in last year, your third down back, your screen catching back. He'll get some carries too. And then we finally gonna get to see what Caleb Johnson looked like, right? He's a third down back, but one of these guys get injured or hurt, we was big on him coming out of Iowa. He had 28 carries last year for his whole rookie season. You know, so I'm curious to see what that looks like. We're gonna have a discussion about what that looks like, some potential running backs late in the draft that'll be available, or undrafted free agents that might be there to steal, because Jalen Warren's undrafted free agent, and so is Dowdell. I mean, if you talk from a draft talent perspective, Caleb Johnson is the best of the bunch as far as that part go.
He is. And the last thing, coast to coast, LA to Chicago. What's up, man? Tell me about this show.
Yeah, man, that's me and the homegirl Dev, man. Dev been a big hit with everybody. We do, you know, it's late night Steeler talk. I mean, we had some things we come in wanting to talk about, but man, I think the live chat, because she got people out there in the West watching. It's early for them, it's late for us on the East, but you know, we get a nice mix of comments and questions and takes, and we just, kind of freestyle. Once the first 15, 20 minutes, we talk about what we want to talk about. Then for the next 30 to 40 minutes of the hour, we kind of just freestyling it, man, answering questions, giving takes, and having a lot of fun on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, man. So that's the lineup of shows that we have coming on the Know It All Network. Make sure that you're in attendance. And like I said, man, they're bangers. All of them are bangers this week, man. But we appreciate you for being here for Mod's Unbiased Opinion. For myself, for my special guest, Tape Boy Fresh. We thank you for watching, man. We out of here. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Yeah. Look, my opinion is my opinion. And my advice, you should listen. Talking love, no competition. Unbiased, forgot to mention.